We are now pleased to be joined by the South Central Region champion West Texas A&M Buffaloes. In the center of our podium, we have the head coach, Josh Prock. To coach's left, at the far side, we have Zamorye Roberts. Zam is a junior guard from Portales, New Mexico. On the near side, we have Karley Motschenbacher. Karley's a freshman guard from Moorhead, Minnesota. And, Coach, what a made-for-TV Sweet 16 game you and Lubbock put on, and it came down literally to which team had the ball last.
Yeah, I mean, hats off to the Lubbock kids. I mean, you could tell the championship pedigree that they have. I mean, all throughout the game. I mean, they just kept coming at you and making plays left and right. I mean, hats off to a young lady like Allie Schulte who, we know she's been battling injuries and stuff and just comes out and gives that kind of performance. I mean, those kids are, it's easy to see why they have their championship pedigree and what they do. So hats off to them, but absolutely 100% proud of these kids. I mean, y'all are going to ask me to describe it. I don't know if I can, so I'll try.
Well, we'll start defense. Both teams, both ends. People are going to look at the percentages. They're going to look at the fact that Ashton Duncan didn't hit a field goal, that Zam only had 3, but what they're not going to see is how tight that defense was.
Yeah, I mean, one of our goals we knew going in, especially for the game that she had against Commerce, which I believe she had 28, if I'm not mistaken, had 8 threes. We knew that we could not let her get off and get going. I mean, she might be the best shooter in the country. I mean, and so at the end of the day, we told Zam, we challenged Zam before the game. We knew we were going to put her on her and say, Zam, you've got to get on there and make her life uncomfortable, and she did. I mean, Zam did an unbelievable job on Ashton.
Karley, we'll start with you. Going back to the LSC tournament title game, you trailed by 6 with 5 to play, and you told me afterwards you were not going to let this team lose, and it looked like in the final minutes tonight you were taking on the same mindset.
Yeah, we had a little talk before we came out for halftime, and we were like, we're not going to let someone else cut down our nets. And that just really carried into the second half. We were hungry. There was a few possessions where we couldn't get a stop, and I think our offense just picked up right when it needed to. I knew I had to make some big shots, and then that carried into our defense. We got some big stops.
And Zam, we mentioned earlier the field goals were hard to come by just because the defense was in your face.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
But in the end, you stepped to the line when you needed to make 2 free throws and dropped them right in. Talk a little bit about the situation.
I think in that moment, you have to make your free throws, so you have to kind of take yourself out of the situation almost and just, you're just on the free throw line like any other day practicing, and what to do, how to make it go in, and I think that's what I did today. Didn't let the nerves get there.
Coach, I want, back in, you put this team together in November, no Lexi Hightower, a lot of transfers, 8-8 at one point. Did you think this was possible coming into March, man?
That's a great question. When we played that first tournament of the year, when we played Drury after that game, that's kind of the moment that I told our coaches. I said, I think we got a chance to be pretty good. I said, I don't know what our record's going to look like before Christmas, but I think this team has a chance to be pretty good because you play a team like Drury, like we did, and there's talent on this team. It's just going to have to come together. And when we flipped the script and started looking at the spring, in January and February, we didn't see a whole lot. You can lose to anybody, but we didn't see it. As coaches, we knew we could make a run, and these kids have continued this run. And wow, what a ride! What a ride they're putting us on, Cal. It's amazing.
Coach, about 32 seconds, I believe, in the fourth quarter, Karley takes a 3, probably contested because they were all contested tonight, it seemed like, but she missed it, and Jayla Burgess gets the rebound and the putback. Just talk about that possession. That was huge.
That comes down to what we've just emphasized all year long, to be tough, because to get that rebound, you got to be tougher than your opponent at that point, and you got to be relentless. And that's what I told Jayla. I said, Jayla, how about that rebound? How about you going to get that rebound, and then not only that, but finishing in traffic. Lubbock does as good a job as anybody in the country where they don't foul you. They just make it difficult to shoot the ball. It's just they're well coached, well schooled in how to do that, and so it makes it really tough to score in there.
You had several girls on this team that came with you from the other school. What does it mean to you to now see them have that success and move on to an Elite Eight together, to be in this, at a couple stops?
These young ladies deserve it. From the very beginning, when I recruited Zam and Olivia. I knew how special they were. I mean, there's moments when we were, those last few years at Eastern, I mean, people could see how special these kids were. Just a matter of trying to get it all put together, and we were blessed. There's so many people to thank. I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for number one, God, two, my family, my parents, my wife for putting up with me. And then obviously Michael and Dr. Windler for giving me the opportunity to be the head coach here. Wouldn't be here today without that, and so for that I'm forever grateful.
A question for anybody, really, but this game was sort of defined by its swings, and they were tight swings throughout the entire game. How do y'all manage those swings, where it was just 2 points, 3 points here, back and forth throughout the entire 40 minutes?
Go ahead and take that.
I've talked about this before, but a huge thing our team has been focusing on is one play at a time, and I think that comes into play huge. Like, we need to get this one stop and then score one more time, and we just have to break it down to one thing at a time, and I think that's helped us a lot.
Hey, Zam, kind of backing off of Clint's question. You followed Coach Prock over here, so what did it mean for you? You're coming to a brand new school, a brand new system and everything, so what's this mean for you coming over?
I mean, this has been awesome. I'm so thankful to God to give me this opportunity. Really, just for giving me Coach Prock. It was a great situation for me to play for him at Eastern, and I think I learned and grew a lot there. But having the opportunity to come here to play for such a great school, and really, I didn't want to have any other coach, so it was a lot about him.
Well, I don't want another guard either.
Speaking of divine intervention, have you ever seen a ball hang on a rim like that? Did you think it was your night?
That was unbelievable. I will say a moment that I thought that it just might be your time, is I believe we were tied. Schulte gets a good look at a three, and it rims in and out. And I just was like, in my head, I'm like, this just might be our time. I think we're going to finish this, So, but I mean, yeah, no, I've never seen a ball just hang up there like that. Nice.
I've asked this the last 2 nights, but can you guys talk on that crowd? It was pretty impressive.
Unbelievable. I mean, Buff Nation is amazing. They've been there all year for us, supported us. We're so grateful for them all. I mean, from the very beginning, they brought the energy. I mean, we knew Lubbock was going to bring a great contingent. They always do. But our fans drowned them out. They drowned them out tonight. And that's what you want with the home court advantage. And our fans, big shout out. Thank you for that.
Karley and Zam on the crowd.
I love it.
Dream come true. A few weeks ago, we had some high school team play here, and, it was packed. And I walked in there and just got chills, and that's how I felt tonight. That's exactly how you want to play a big game, and you want to go in and play your best. And we did just purely, we couldn't do it without all of our fans and supporters, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Karley, we've talked to Zam about her following Coach Prock over here. You were recruited by the previous coach who departed, and then Coach Prock come in. Talk about your decision and how it's working out for you.
Yeah, when I heard that Matteo was leaving, I was definitely really scared because, I was moving across the country. So, for no coach at that moment. But I just really felt like God was leading me to this place. I didn't know what it was for. And it's crazy to just see how he works. If you're just patient and you just let it happen. He's blessed me in so many ways.
Any more questions?
I just want to ask you one more, Coach. A year ago, you're a coach at another school, and you were the tournament site director here for the regional tournament. Now you're going to the Elite Eight here as the head coach of the Lady Buffs.
I see Coach Ramey smiling back there, our strength and conditioning coach. She texted me that about a week or so ago. How crazy is this that you were the site rep and now all of a sudden you're hosting it? And it's crazy. But these kids have earned it. When you look at what they've been able to do, they have earned this right to be where they are. And you're one of the final 8 teams. I haven't seen everybody else, the outcomes of the other regions yet, but you're one of the final 8 teams, and so let's go have fun.